Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills, learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and personal branding to take your message to the world. For today's episode, we are entering the world of public speaking, and I'm going to be teaching you the art of becoming a battle-tested speaker. What is a battle-tested speaker? Well, in a nutshell, a battle-tested speaker can think negative thoughts, feel negative feelings, and take action despite it. In the public speaking world, things aren't always going to go your way. There's often going to be a lot of negativity involved. And during moments like this, you want to be battle-tested. It's very important to be battle-tested leading up to the speech and during speech day. Leading up to the speech, if you're someone who has speech anxiety, you'll have a lot of negative thoughts and emotions leading up to the big moment. But it's going to be up to you to make sure that you compose yourself so you show up on stage. And during speech day, there's going to be times where your audience members aren't the most polite. They'll be on their phones, chit-chatting with one another, yawning. A bunch of weird stuff. And once again, you have to maintain composure. So in this video, I want to tell you a story about one time where I was completely thrown off guard for my speech and a unique strategy that I discovered that you should start implementing as well. Not only will it help you in terms of public speaking, but it'll just help you in life in general. Because let's face it, being emotionally resilient and mentally tough is not just something reserved for speakers. It's something that can help you in life. So if you're ready to rock, without further ado, let's begin. So this was a few months ago. A few months ago, I was asked to be a speaker for this mastermind group. The host contacted me and she said she wanted me to talk about social skills. I was like, I could easily do that. She's like, great. The event will be at 7 a.m. this Friday. So Friday, I show up and I see a bunch of people standing outside of the coffee house. I thought that was a little strange. So I went up to one of the people and I'm like, yo, how come none of you guys are inside? And this person seemed very agitated. He's like, hey, didn't you hear? The coffee house owner never came in. I don't know where we're going to host this event. I was like, wait. For real? I'm supposed to be a speaker at this event. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Well, after a while, I ran into the host and the host came up to me and she was like, look, Armani, I know you were supposed to speak here, but the coffee house owner just isn't picking up. Are you cool to do it in the area right next door? I was like, look, that's fine. I don't care where we do it. I'm just ready to speak. So we go to the new area and this isn't a coffee house. This is literally outside someone's patio. And it's not AC'd or anything like that. It is hot as fuck. Mind you, it's 97 degrees. I'm wearing a black suit and this host is telling me to speak in front of this weather. And to make matters worse, a lot of the people in the audience are very agitated because they didn't have their coffee and now they're basically sitting outside this hot area. But despite that, I had to still give the speech. And if you're very curious, by the way, the speech is called The Social Filtration System, a story about small talk. You could find it earlier on in my YouTube channel. But long story short, I ended up giving the speech. The speech was roughly around 10 to 12 minutes, and we had to spend another 15 minutes doing an exercise that I had prepared. So overall, the entire experience was 30 to 40 minutes. After I was done, I got some congratulations from the audience members, but a big part of me was agitated. I was very dehydrated, I was burnt, my clothes were wet, and a part of me was wondering, how the hell didn't the host prepare for this? Why did she make it so inconvenient for the speaker? That's not right. And the rest of the day, I just decided to relax. But here's what happened the next morning. The next morning, once again, I was hydrated, I was feeling good, and a part of me was very, very happy that I had given that speech. Because at that point, all the cards were sort of decked in a way where the speaker shouldn't have gone on stage. But the fact that I was able to push through it, I felt very, very good. I wouldn't say it was my best speech ever, but ultimately, That moment battle tested me like none else. Overall, what this story should show to you is that many times when we're practicing our speeches, we have this idea of how everything is going to go. But what separates the good speakers from the great speakers are the ones who understand that there's always a room for chaos. Now, when you think of chaos, you're thinking, oh my God, the end of the world. No, not quite like that. Chaos as in things can go different according to plan. For example, imagine if you are someone who has to drive from point A to B. It's very unrealistic to say, look, I just want to get from point A to B. I don't want anyone cutting me off. I don't want to hit any red lights. I don't want there to be any traffic. I just want to get from point A to B. Will that happen in certain cases? Yeah. Let's say you leave very late at night. Then you probably won't get too much traffic. You probably won't hit too many red lights. I get that. But more often than not, you still have to prepare for hitting traffic, right? And that's just how it works in the public speaking game as well. We don't want rude audience members. We don't want speech anxiety, but at certain times, it is going to happen. So in situations like this, you want to be battle tested. So Armani, how do I become battle tested? You ready? You adopt the, oh well, mentality. And you may be thinking, wait, what? What is this oh well mentality? Good question. So I don't know which part of the world you're watching this video from, but for the most part, when someone just says, oh well, they're taking away importance from something. Imagine someone comes up to you and they say, hey, you hurt my feelings. And you say, oh well. What you're doing is you're undermining that individual's feelings. Imagine if someone writes on your YouTube video, that was the worst video I've ever seen. And you're like, oh well. What you're doing is you're undermining that hater's opinion. The reason that this is so big in the public speaking world is because you are taking power away from something. So typically when people face these negative emotions, negative thoughts, there's two strategies that they do. And these two strategies are wrong. So let's picture Bubba and John. Bubba, anytime he is leading up to the speech and he has negative thoughts about the audience booing him, Bubba is like, oh my God, the audience is gonna boo me. Well, there's that. And he gives this thought a lot of power. John, on the other hand, when he gets a thought of himself getting booed by the audience, automatically he goes reaching for his phone. Automatically he turns on the TV and he finds a way to distract himself. Once again, John is giving power to the negativity. But Susie is different. Susie gets a thought about getting booed in front of the audience, and Susie says, oh well. Now her mind is like, what do you mean, oh well? You may get booed in front of the audience. And once again, Susie's like, oh well. At this point, the mind is like, wait a minute. Why is this Susie girl so relaxed about this? Maybe it's not a big of a scenario that I'm making it seem out to be. Maybe Susie is that damn confident. Maybe Susie's speech is that darn great. By doing the oh well strategy, what Susie did is she took away the power from the negative thoughts and opened up herself towards more creativity, towards more confidence. Here's the thing. The best time to practice the oh well strategy is leading up to your speech. Because leading up to your speech, I don't care how long you've been public speaking, every now and then you're going to get the negative thoughts regarding the speech. And in times like that, it is the perfect time to practice, oh well, oh, the audience is going to boo me, oh well. If someone's going to pull out their phone, oh well. What if I forget something? Oh well. And every single time that you're saying, oh well, it doesn't just stop there. There's a second order, third order, fourth order effect that you start off. Because now your mind is thinking, okay, well, if he's saying, oh well, that means there's a strategy that we need. And your mind is actually working constructively for you rather than destructively against you. So you want to start applying this little strategy. And The more that you keep doing this, the more that you're conditioning your brain to focus on what you can control and what you can't control. During that day that I had to give the speech, I couldn't control where I was supposed to give the speech, but all I could control was me giving the speech. The oh well mentality is going to take you to a lot of parts in life, and it's just going to make you more brave. Because public speaking is one of these acts that requires courage. You don't just practice the entire act of public speaking alone. I mean, there's certain strategies you can do at home, but ultimately, you're going to have to put yourself out there in front of an audience. And I wrote a tweet recently. I said, before you're about to go on stage, and if you're feeling a lot of speech anxiety, you should just remind yourself, you are embarking on something most will never have the courage to do. So that alone is something that's very noteworthy. Public speaking is going to stretch your confidence, your charisma, and your personality as a whole. So make sure you win your mind over so you can alter your behaviors along the way. Next time you're feeling speech anxiety, next time you're feeling any kind of anxiety, try the oh well method and see how far it takes you. Because a battle-tested speaker is a happy speaker. And the more battle-tested you become, the more you'll start viewing public speaking like a hobby. If today's episode helps you, make sure you help me back by dropping a like and you share this video with your friends. Thank you for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.